najświadczego telewizyjnej rewolucji Kevin i Olivia na błogosławie. The international phenomenon. Attack of the Show.
Heated show day. Heated show. Controversy. Big show. Welcome, by the way, to Attack of the Show. Good to see you. Good to see
Hi,
you.
everyone. Good to see
Look
you.
at you, snazzy dress, looking all fancy like.
And trying to hike it shorter for my first day back.
All right, let's get it there. Hey, let's encourage but not celebrate, because I don't think it's high enough yet. So if you really just want to get up in there and...
Stop it.
Okay. We're TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
Far away.
I'm Kevin Pereira. We like you at any distance, Miss Munn.
I'm Olivia Munn, and I've missed that face.
Stop it. Touch it one more time. Just let me know you're here. Boop, boop.
Yes. We're coming to you live from G4 Studios in Los Angeles.
On the show today, Antennagate continues, my friends. Apple defends the iPhone 4 by insulting all the other smartphone makers. It's a good move. Well, I know we are, but what are you? Huh. And we find out what really happens behind the scenes in Apple's top secret testing labs in the loop. By the way, they got a Chinese basket in there. Just letting you know.
What is that?
Google it.
I don't even know what that is.
Plus, Blair Butler. What?
What is it?
It's you should know it. It's an Asian thing. It's a basket for your living room. You can put fruit or people in it. Plus, Blair Butler talks to Avatar star Sam Worthington about his new comic book team-up with Radical. You're actually going to find out what their first comic will be. And you know what it is.
Really don't
I'm going to
know.
look for a photo. I'm going to find a photo.
You can put
I'm going to find a photo of
food
it.
or people.
Well, it's a basket. You can put people in it. You can swing them from
What
it.
makes it Chinese?
Well, I think they invented it.
Well, Chris Hardwick is here, and he's in today's Crazy Gadgets-on. The HTC EVO with 4G service, that is 10 times faster than 3G, people. 10 times faster. It's also got a touchscreen, HDMI out, and antenna, so you can actually make phone calls.
Oh, hey, that's new. What? Hey, I like to make phone calls. Show me. Now, girl. Yay!
And things get tipsy in today's trend hunt for when Allison Hayslip goes to New York to find the best Scotch.
Oh.
And no, that does not mean that she picks up a guy in a kilt. It does not mean that. It means she probably got drunk with a guy in a kilt.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid.
Oh, sorry. Dear Internet, man and woman seek web videos for discreet liaison.
Must be versatile and willing to flash.
Strange. The thing is, we try to keep our portal a secret, and you guys got a little glimpse of it right there. Tiny glimpse.
The mistake wasn't the flash of the phone. The mistake was the entire thing. The whole show until
Starting
now.
with bringing us together back in 2006.
We did it.
Ruined America.
Now, let's talk about last week real quick, because if last week had a scent, it was the sweet smell of Old Spice pitchman Isaiah Mustafa. The man is a machine. He posted more than 190 responses to online comments on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Cranked them out.
So the internet being what it is, a dance remix was inevitable.
How can I smell like space shuttles? That's easy. Hello. Wait. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on a horse. I'm on a horse. I'm on a phone. I'm on a phone. I'm on a phone. I'm on a phone. I'm on a horse. I'm on a horse. I'm on a phone.
Get your glow sticks out. That's my good buddy. That was DJ Mike Realm, everybody. He is phenomenal. Did a great Iron Man 2 mix. Whole bunch of good stuff.
I'm actually just kind of surprised because I didn't know that advertising was so danceable.
It really is. I'm just waiting for like a Summer's Eve mega mix. If we can make that happen. It could be danceable.
What was that?
That was part of the move. Brian was off camera showing one of the moves. He was doing this.
What is that?
Yeah.
Ta-da-ta.
We call it the burnt salmon. Oh, get that salmon out of here.
And yet Emery said yes. I don't this...
Congratulations, Brian and Emery.
Yay!
Look at that face. He is not happy.
Yeah, get him, get him.
He's quick.
Get
He
him.
runs. No, he runs. You're not going to get him. You're not going to get him.
Feels like duck
Don't
hunt.
take the. We're good. We're good.
Come back over this way. This weekend, the mind-bending film Inception crushed the competition
Yes,
at the box
I
office.
loved it.
Saw it last night.
Loved it.
Oh.
So good. The
I love
part
them.
where he's sleeping.
And then when they wake up,
Oh my
God!
God! Spoiler. So it's only fitting that today's number 4 features an explanation of the brain-blowing movie in terms that even a child can understand.
I specialize in a very specific type of exploration.
You're talking about dreams, sueños.
Very good! Can you point to the object that represents resilient parasite and idea caught in the tangled nature of the subconscious human mind? That's right! Can you say
Love it. Great parody. Phenomenal movie.
I couldn't turn away.
Yeah.
I was right there the whole time.
I love the movie so much. I did think at times, like, the soundtrack is a little bit.
Well,
It's
I
a-
mean, yeah, I guess that the
Okay, all right.
One-
We get it. It's one of the. Can we just.
Can we
not-
just put... I just want to say that you just...
We're done. We're good. Okay, all right. Our number 3 video, folks, is. Okay, no. It's titled Cows and Cows and Cows. It's another fascinating bit of mind splatter from YouTube superstar Syriac. What?
Yeah, it's either that or it's definite proof that there's more in your milk than industrial hormones.
Yeah! No, don't encourage that. That's disgusting. I don't know if I really can't think of anything more horrifying than a spider cow.
Oh, I can. Justin Bieber.
Okay, no.
Look at that. Oh,
It's close, but not quite. I mean, a spider cow is pretty.
Wait, wow,
hideous.
let me, one more time. Wait,
Okay,
okay, hold on. Justin Bieber's head stapled onto the body of one of those, like, hairless cats. Ow! How about that? That's scary.
I didn't think you were going to get any warmer, but yeah, that's a little
Okay.
warmer. It's still not quite as horrific as
No?
spider cow.
One more
I
try,
mean,
one more try.
Really?
Let me
Okay,
think.
all right, what do you got?
Okay, a dead manatee stuffed with onions, blood sausage, and Justin Bieber.
Oh my God! Oh God! I
Yeah.
want to burn my eyes and then urinate them on them to put out the flames. Never mind. I guess I would technically. I'd have to pull my eyes out and eat them, ingest them, process them, and then I could urinate. Urinate on them would have been much better if I'd have just said that. Hey, our number 2 video features features a beast that is neither a demon from hell.
That's my Bieber.
Really? That's pretty good, actually.
What's up, girls?
I think you can trend with that hair. Have you actually heard a Justin Bieber song or seen him perform or
Yeah,
caught a photo
I was
in
at
Teen Bone?
SNL when he was there and he performed.
Were you
and
were you
and I watched
enthralled
him.
like all the other 12-year-old
No,
girls? or
I
what?
I was like, he's got to have a, like, what is that? It's got Tourette's. What is, like, I watched, before they start rehearsing, he's just back there just
It's
like.
the Bieber Twitch.
Just like
He
twitching.
exists on Pop Rocks and Pixie Sticks. I mean, that's. It's not like he can chug Jack Daniels at his age, so
Does he
you know
live in-
he's
does he-
just totally.
Does he live in Neverland?
He does. He does. He arrived at the performance through a mirror.
He just literally the whole time he's like getting ready and everyone's like getting ready. Okay, ready. All right. He's like.
And yet, teen girls everywhere are falling for it. Oh.
And this?
I'm going to develop a Twitch. Our number 2 video, folks, it features a beast that is neither a demon from hell or Olivia Bieber or Fran Drescher. It's
No,
none of
it's
the
a
above.
goat. It's a goat. One that's passionate enough to be a highly valued member of any high school debate team.
Oh.
That goat.
Señor, que estoy hablando con usted, no me dé la espalda, hombre. ¿Qué pasa en su corral? Zapatero, ¿qué opina usted del gobierno de Zapatero? Pues igual que yo. ¿Y qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted del gobierno canario? ¿De los ayuntamientos de la isla?
I don't know. I think the goat makes a good case, to be honest. No, you're missing the point completely. I mean, I don't think you can fight logic with that kind of dogma. Were you attempting to spit there, Dan? Is it? We don't have a... Just make a spit noise. We don't have a spit sound effect, so make a spit noise with your mouth, and then do the... What?
You say your lines again.
Okay, all right, let's try it again. I don't know. I think the goat makes a good point. I don't think this is good. I really...
Let's try one more
The
time.
light at the end of this tunnel is a train.
Try it.
It really is.
Let's try it.
Well, I think the goat makes a great point, Olivia.
Train, me.
Yeah, that was a train. Still ahead, everybody. Steve Jobs really might be the Dark Lord of the Sith. Apple CEO's it's a great disturbance in the force. It's our number one around the net. Yeah! And now Inception order. Listen, I hate to gripe on it, I hate to harp, but we all know the iPhone 4 has some reception issues.
Yeah. For example, no reception.
Yes, but the folks over at NMA News have an interesting way of illustrating Steve Jobs' reaction to all the customers who are complaining.
苹果现在的大小竟然比微软还大，贾伯斯变成当下最重要的科技业界领袖。可是又有人说，贾伯斯的生意做得越大，他也变得越来越邪恶。剥削员工，有人认为苹果对应的态度太冷漠。很多使用者并不喜欢买 iPhone， 就一定得跟 AT&T 公司绑约，决定集体告苹果电脑。最新的问题是 iPhone 收讯的障碍。可是贾伯斯说，问题不在苹果，而是在消费者的手挡到了 iPhone 的天线，导致收讯不良。
CG Sith Steve Jobs is kind of a dick.
Yeah, a little bit.
No. Although, if cutting off my fingers allows me to make a call on the Jesus phone, I will consider it.
You know, I have to say that kind of logic isn't going to work once, like, Apple starts to make, you know, iSex toys with connection problems. Just think about it. Think about how
I thought about it.
Think about that.
I thought about it. I'm good. I'm good. Hey, to get your daily viral fix and to check out all... Sumo Hulk, everybody! Sumo Hulk is here!
We're doing a live show. You can't do that. You can't really do that.
What's up, dude?
Sumo Hulk smash congestion by ride sharing to Comic-Con.
That's mighty green of you. But Comic-Con is like 3 days away, Sumo Hulk, and I told you, I can't. I don't have the room. I just can't give you a ride. I'm sorry, dude.
Olivia.
No.
Come on!
Kevin. Olivia.
What's up?
Your bat chariot awaits. We'll stop it in and out.
We're not going to
Load up the old
Stop, don't
burger belt.
There's no bat burger belt. You don't. No, we're not going to do it. The answer's no. The
That is off to Comic-Con.
We're not off to
Kevin
Comic-Con.
says
No.
no, we can't go.
Come on.
No.
You're not in front.
Hey,
Hi,
will you
mask
give
lady.
me a ride to San Diego?
No, we
Are you
told
going?
not to go. We were told not to.
Let me hear this out.
Wait,
We are a united front. Let me just
Okay, you
figure out
said
what
no.
our front is. Are you going to Comic-Con?
What's Comic On? I just need to get to San Diego really bad.
Okay, I'm sorry. We actually can't do
I will
that.
give you
All right, I'm just gonna Twitter. You guys can do the show. I don't care.
To get your daily viral fix, you can check out all the viral videos we have to offer. Go to G4TV. Hope no like URL. Easy, old chum. Easy.
Scotch, the ultimate gentleman's drink. We are here at the VIP section at Spin in New York City to find out just what it is about Scotch that sets it apart from all the rest. With me is Bradley Carbone from Complex Magazine. He's going to talk us through all the rules of Scotch, yes?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, first off, what is Scotch?
Scotch is a whiskey that's made in Scotland.
Makes sense. Now, beyond being from Scotland, what makes it unique?
The fact that these whiskeys are distilled in Scotland with ingredients from the area gives it all the characteristics that create Scotch whiskey and the unique flavors.
Now, Scotch is not something you would ever put in a mixed drink or anything like that, correct?
There are cocktails that use some types of Scotch,
There are.
but it's traditionally consumed either on the rocks, neat, or, with a little bit of soda.
All right, should we give these a shot?
Okay. So we're gonna start with Dewar's. Dewar's is a great blended Scotch. It's really accessible, everywhere has it, so it's something that you can order it whenever you need it.
Dewar's White Label.
Kind of oaky.
There's some oak to it. You could drink it neat, but it's kind of something that's better either on ice, with
Yeah.
soda, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a great mixing base Scotch to have. We're going from Dewar's to Johnny Walker Blue Label. Huge price point jump, huge difference in taste. This is kind of a really refined blended whiskey.
Skaggy balls drink Johnny Walker Blue Label.
Oh, that's smooth. There's like a bite right at the end, I feel like. Like it goes in smooth and all of a sudden it's like, here I am.
But it's very balanced. It's a very high price point, but it's a way of consuming alcohol that's a refined type of thing.
This is our final one.
Sure, so this is the Macallan 18. So this is a single malt Scotch. So it's a little bit different. The other two that we tasted were blended whiskeys. This is a single malt whiskey. So it comes from the same distillery. All the whiskeys that are blended to create this are coming from the same place.
The splash of Macallan Highland single malt.
So this has like a really robust flavor. It's a really well-rounded, very well-balanced whiskey.
It almost has a little bit of sweetness in it too. So Scotch is an acquired taste, but the more you know, the more you'll be wowing people with your knowledge of it and looking like $1 million playboy at the same time. Bottoms up. Yep, there we go.
For more tips on Scotch, head on over to complex.com.
Still ahead, we dig into Apple's Antennagate and get a behind-the-scenes look at their top secret testing labs.
And later, Chris Hardwick has HTC's EVO 4 in today's Gadget Prom. This thing is 10 times faster than a 3G phone. It's got a touch screen, fancy out, 2 cameras.
Also has a keypad.
On
And also
screen.
has
On
a
screen
thing that you
it
can
does.
hear things and then people can
Has a
talk to
speaker.
you.
Does have a speaker for hearing
And
people.
also there's a pocket.
It can fit in the pocket if you're wearing cargo pants.
From Hollywood to Bollywood, Geek Goddess, Hamle ke show.
Oh, it's time for the news, so let's do some news, because it's news time. That's all I had.
Allison, didn't you like that song?
I totally liked it. I feel like the news should always be started off with a song.
Okay, go
I'm holding you to it, Kevin.
Okay, ready? It's the new song. It's the new song. Yes, it is.
Olivia, it's not the new song.
I'm just gonna start this. It's Monday, July 19th, and here are your top stories. Since the release of Apple's flagship iPhone 4, the media and blogosphere have been screaming bloody murder over the unfortunate antenna problems. So, Apple attempted to douse the fire on Friday with a good old-fashioned Steve Jobs press conference. Reactions to Jobs' address were predictably mixed, with iPhone competitors complaining about having their smartphones compared to Apple's in terms of signal loss, and the press insisting that Jobs just wasn't sorry enough. On the other hand, business analysts thought Jobs handled the heat well, citing the decision to offer antenna bumpers for free. Consumer Reports, which indicated last week that it would not be recommending the iPhone 4, reaffirmed this decision but praised the free cases as a good first step in fixing the hardware problem. Stay tuned for more on Antennagate coming up in The Loop. Just in time for Comic-Con, actor Sam Worthington is making a big announcement about his plans to become part of the publishing industry. Blair Butler met up with the Avatar star to get the scoop on his new comic book project.
For years, Hollywood has been coming to comics for original ideas, but now in a new twist, the folks at Radical are getting some original comics from one of Hollywood's biggest stars and his producing partners.
Box office golden boy Sam Worthington is fronting a team whose mission is to create original comic book stories for Radical Studios with an eye towards possibly adapting them for the screen.
We're fans first and foremost, so if you get an opportunity like to make the comic book of your dreams, well, that's what Radical is helped Full Clip to do.
How did you guys partner with Radical? When did you sort of decide to get into the comics game?
We got involved with Radical on Last Days of American Crime. We set up Damaged as a comic just to be done at Radical through that relationship. He liked what we were doing with all our other ideas, and he had the crazy idea of saying, make more for us.
Tell us a little bit about Damaged.
It's about two brothers, started off as policemen, their paths diverge, one of them becomes a vigilante, and one of them stays as a policeman, and their paths cross again after 35 years.
It's very, vigilante-driven, it's very, deep, dark crime.
Damaged is out there and been announced, but you have something else, Patriots?
Patriots, well, we always thought that if this is our intimate little, drama,
right,
we wanted something to go on an epic scale. So we came up with an idea, and Barry Levine, being a great champion of us, actually said, run with it. He said, anything you could think of, go for it. That's the great thing about graphic novels and comic books, is that you're not held by any limitations or any budget. It's all just a piece of paper. The idea is, well, if you've got 7 continents in the world, and if you have to sacrifice one of those continents to save the other 6, would you do it? And that's basically the setup. And apart from that, we'll keep the rest under our hat.
Sam really had some great ideas about what to do, and they started talking about how they can take it to the next level, adaptation-wise, and it worked from there.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, guess what? It's still the feed. Still the feed going on. Thanks to Blair for her cameo appearance and those 3 hot Australian dudes. Good news, the American military has come up with a more efficient and futuristic way to melt our enemies. U.S. defense contractor Raytheon just announced they've been shooting down unmanned planes with nothing but laser beams. Yes! 6 concentrated beams from an offshore naval vessel successfully shot down 4 planes using the Navy's laser weapon system and Raytheon's Phalanx dynamic detection and targeting sensors or something like that. A spokesperson for Raytheon stated that the ultimate goal is to provide warfighters with speed of light protection, then donned a stormtrooper helmet and made pew-pew noises. And finally, wonderful news for moviegoers who support originality and quality filmmaking. Christopher Nolan's highly anticipated sci-fi thriller Inception led the weekend box office with approximately $60.4 million in ticket sales. On the other hand, Disney's latest franchise film attempt, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, flopped spectacularly, earning only $17.4 million, and didn't even manage to beat out last week's Despicable Me. Inception's success is a beacon of hope for those who are sick of seeing nothing but money-driven remakes, rehashes, and cheap adaptations at their local multiplex and vampire films. I'm Allison Hayslip, and you've just been fed.
All right, as you heard, Apple held a press conference on Friday to discuss the iPhone 4's antenna. Oopsie. No calls. Jobs also managed to punch a few other phone makers in the nose while he was at it. So put on your best bumper. It's The Loop. Joining me via FaceTime, I'm kidding, all the way from New York to help us make sense of it all, editor-in-chief for Engadget.com, Joshua Topolsky is here, everybody. How are you, sir?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Joshua, you were there, right? You were there on Friday. Were you not in the room staring the jobs in the face?
There.
I wasn't, and I could only read weblog transcripts of the event, and I could tell he hated me anyways. It was just text, but I could get that he did not want to be there. I mean, was that the case?
Well, yeah, he didn't seem really psyched to be getting up in front of people and saying, hey, our antenna isn't as bad as everybody says it is, especially since, you know, he was just talking about how great the antenna is a few weeks earlier. So I think he didn't seem that happy, and he made an allusion to maybe just being pulled off of vacation in Hawaii. So
yeah,
maybe that had something to do with it.
That's kind of a crappy reason to be called back, to come in and say, hey, we're sorry, but we still love you guys. What did you make of that tone of the event? It seemed weird. It seemed derisive to those who were speaking up, like, how dare you question our amazing product? Every other phone out there sucks too. And then simultaneously, we love you guys. Don't you just want a hug from Papa Jobs? And it seemed like quite the dichotomy.
Yeah, it was weird. You know, people thought he would come out and say, hey, we're really sorry. We know there's some defects with a few units. We're going to get those back and replace them. You know, something like that. Something where you felt like he really felt bad for all the trouble that people were having. And he was a little bit more dismissive. He kind of made fun of, he sort of made fun of people who've been complaining about the problem, and then went on to say, but actually this thing happens with every phone that exists, so it's not really a problem at all.
Sure.
It was a little dismissive.
Well, he was definitely trying to quell some of the concerns. I mean, they're offering free bumpers, right? They're going to do a little promotional thing. You can get the 5-cent piece of plastic that they were charging $30 for. They're going to give to people, and then let you choose from a selection of free cases as well, right?
Yeah, well, they don't have enough bumpers apparently, so they're going to give you either a bumper, and if they run out of those, you'll have a selection of some third-party cases that they're going to make available to everyone.
Is that going far enough, in your opinion, to make amends for all these issues?
Well, we don't really know how widespread this problem is. It may be a few really vocal people with bad problems. It could be everybody who has the phone. But, I mean, if their return rates are to be believed, it's likely that this isn't affecting everybody in the way that some of these reports would have you believe. So I think it's a good step. I would like to see something a little more concrete, like, hey, there is a defect, or actually we can fix this with software. And that doesn't seem to be the case right now. It's basically like, if you are having problems, get a bumper. If you're not happy with that, you can return the phone. So I think some people will be happy, and I think others are going to be feeling a little, left like high and dry here.
I feel like the conference was mostly a bummer for anybody who has ever owned a cell phone, because Steve Jobs was pointing fingers at all the other major smartphones out there and saying, hey, they all suffer from these problems. I'm assuming the other companies have come forward to say that might not be the case with their products, right?
Yeah, pretty quickly, RIM and Nokia and Samsung and HTC stepped up and said, actually, Apple, we don't want to get pulled into your little issue that you're having. Our phones are great. We don't have any antenna problems. They seemed pretty rattled by the fact that Jobs had tried to rope them into the Antennagate or the antenna issue. Though, in Jobs' defense, there are real problems with antennas that a lot of these phone makers, when you get the phone in the manual, it says, hey, don't hold it this way or you could attenuate the signal. So, there's a little bit of truth to both sides.
Very, very true. And finally, Joshua, you were allowed into the Professor X Ready Room. You got to go behind closed doors into Apple's Infinite Loop testing lab. It looks like a Nerf factory threw up inside of a very cramped room. What goes on in this testing room?
Well, I mean, a lot of sort of wireless torture testing from what we could tell. They had these weird, I describe them as sort of clean saw devices. It's like they're rotating a phone and they've got an antenna that's sort of stabbing the phone, and it's a very strange array of instruments. But the point was to say, hey, we actually test these things before we put them in the market. So, and I believe them, but still, Antennagate exists.
It exists. Well, and so let's wrap it up then, Joshua. Final word. Is this a period at the end of a sentence here for this discussion? Or do those who think that a bumper doesn't suffice, are they going to still keep complaining on forums and whatnot?
I think there's going to be some very vocal people who still complain, but I think the conversation is now in control of Apple again, which is what they wanted. So I think the general public response is going to be this is dealt with and Apple is in control, which is what Apple wants.
Great. I think we're done with it here until Steve says something tomorrow. Awesome. Joshua, thank you so much. Engadget's Joshua Topolsky. We appreciate you keeping us in the loop, sir. But now, let's go over to Olivia.
Stay tuned for our Gadgetron verdict on HTC's new EVO phone. It's about to be handed down by Chris Hardwick. Is it the phone you've been waiting for, or another false messiah? We'll be right back.
The feed is brought to you by the Super Guarantee from superpages.com. Protect yourself when you use a business backed by the Super Guarantee. This guy's just trying to rope swing into this lake. So what happens next? Does he flip in the air and belly flop into the water? Does he swing right into the log in front of him? Or does the rope just snap? Find out when we return. This guy's just trying to rope swing into this lake. So what happens next? Does he flip in the air and belly flop into the water? Does he swing right into the log in front of him? Or does the rope just snap? Oh no! Oh well, that ended well for us. Folks, Gadgetron is now 10 times faster than it was. On the ones and twos, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Hardwick. Oh, I didn't know. We were just dancing? I thought you were turntabling really high.
Yep.
I keep my tables at chin level.
Yeah, that's right. I like to pretend I'm a kid who's just DJing for the first time, and then
Fisher Price, my first set.
My first set. Yeah, that's right.
Hundreds of viewers requested a review of this EVO, Chris.
I'm going to say hundreds and one, and we got the message.
It's official. HTC and Sprint are leading the 4G revolution with the EVO. With download speeds of up to 10 times faster than 3G and a 1 GHz Snapdragon processor, this phone screams through any task. Plus, its 4.3-inch touchscreen and Android Power interface make the user experience second to none. Dual cameras, Wi-Fi, HDMI output, and so many more features will run you $200 with a contract.
Yes.
That is a lot of bullet points. The EVO is actually one of the larger phones on the market right now. I'm going to hold it up for comparison.
Yeah.
About the same length and width as the Droid X. A little bit wider, though. You do feel it when you pick it up.
Yeah.
Almost half an inch taller and wider than the iPhone 4. Let's get them all in there. One big family.
Hey, where are you guys going? Shut up. Beat up.
No, why can't we all be friends? Also, it's thicker and heavier than both the iPhone and the Droid. The more I use the Droid, I didn't mind the size so much because the screen is giant. I just spit everywhere. Sorry.
That's all right.
The screen is huge. But what did you think? Is it a good trade-off?
I mean, listen. For me personally, I felt like it was large.
Yeah.
Our gadget producer Bruce loved the extra screen real estate. I really think it's a personal preference. I can't give that a good or bad value.
Sure you can. Slap a good or bad on it. Try it.
Grad.
Hey!
No, I think it's really just depends on what you like. There are a couple of things about it that I think are baffling, like, why would you put the camera lens?
Yeah.
The camera lens sticks out on the back, so when you set the phone down like this, well, you're setting it right on the lens. I don't know if that's. You're not supposed to rest things on lenses, right?
No,
I'm not
typically no. Unless it's a DSLR, then you can spin the camera on a table.
Brilliant. The kickstand on the back, it's totally flush with the device, and then it pops out. I mean, that is genius. I don't know why all smartphones are not doing that, but I think it's a really genius ad that they had there.
Convenience in a can.
Yep, that's right.
Well, we're all pretty familiar with Android's interface. HTC is constantly improving their Sense skin, which they slap on top of this. Do you like it? Does it feel bolted on? Does it feel too clunky?
I feel like it's pretty good. It's the touch screen is responsive we'd expect from an Android device.
Very responsive.
Still not quite up to par with the iPhone or even the Droid X.
Right. No, you got to compare them because they are in the same breed, and the screen, you're right, not as responsive.
Not as responsive. The keyboard is good too, especially because of the gigantic, massive screen. HTC just keeps adding more Sense widgets, and they end up being indispensable. So a few good examples: the People widget, which puts all your favorite contacts in one spot, or FriendStream, which gives you quick access to Twitter, Facebook, and Flickr.
Stay connected with the tweens.
No, Friendster. Okay. No, dude, you can upload up to 2 pictures now. In terms of speed, the EVO is just as fast as the iPhone 4 and the Droid X in performing the usual tasks. So it's good.
It's on par.
It is on par.
They've added features, of course, like the front-facing camera for video chat, which is great. 8-megapixel camera, 720p video. Of course, 4G network speeds.
Hey,
for all 12 of you that can get it.
That's a great theory.
Well, let's get into that. How do they all work? Let's start with some of the other stuff.
Okay, for the most part, they work pretty well. The camera's great, even with the flash on. Video's good too. Neither look quite as good as some of the other devices out there. But
is that a shake weight? Did I miss something there? No. That was
I hope that was a microphone.
I think it was.
Video chat works well through the Kick application. Even works on 3G. You can actually make a call from the EVO to a PC.
Crazy.
Revolutionary.
It's like the future, but now.
We were actually lucky enough to find a few spots with this 4G network. It's like finding an albatross here in LA, and got amazing download speeds. But again, the coverage is still entirely limited. There's like 16 states, 460. Okay, so right there, you see.
Wait, I saw a slight blink.
You see those blue spots on there?
Are those SIG alerts?
Well, those are where people have spontaneously combusted. Not a lot of places in the United States, just like the 4G network. That's it. That's 4G network. Those little blinking spots.
Those tiny little dots.
That's
and don't
supposed
forget,
to be the 4G.
If you zoom in, those dots get a lot smaller.
You can't see them, and it's $10 a month more. Now
wait, $10 a month more if I'm using the 4G network, or if I live. I live in one of those cities.
Kevin, I'm going to sell you a flying car. It doesn't fly yet, but you're going to pay $100 more a month for this flying car.
Wait, okay, but I don't have the flying car now.
Doesn't matter. It's going to fly someday.
What if I don't have a landing pad in my backyard?
Whatevs, $100 a month.
Okay, that just makes sense. So you're required to pay for this.
You're required to pay for this. The combination of this is what Sprint, because we asked.
Right.
One of the guys who works on our staff said he called Sprint, got 4 different answers from people.
Right.
Some people said, yeah, you got to pay no matter what. So their official answer is something along the lines of, because you're getting a richer data and multimedia experience, you have to pay $10 more a month.
I saw the email that Sprint sent, and it actually said that it mentioned the camera as being a reason you're paying $10 a month.
So you've already paid for the hardware, so now you got to pay an extra $120 a month for a year for that.
Not buying
My
that.
feeling is, the irritating thing is they advertise it as a 4G product. It's 4G. Whenever you see EVO, you see 4G.
Right.
But there's not a network in place for that everywhere.
Right.
I mean, almost nowhere.
We saw the map dots.
You saw the tiny little map dots.
There's like 12 or 16.
So hopefully they're going to be rolling that out later this year and into next year. But until then, you still got to pay for it.
Now, a lot of people talk about that EVO versus iPhone video with the 2 little animals talking that blew up. It went viral. And one of the gripes against the EVO was the battery life. Is it as terrible as it's been?
Battery life's not that great. We got about 36 hours of standby time, and that was not using the phone at all. And then 10 to 12 hours of normal usage. Turning 4G off will help, because you're not going to need it. HDMI out, it has. Adobe Flash 10.1 is coming in a few months with the new Android update, so you will be able to run Flash. But again, I still want you to understand, cheaper plan than other smartphone plans. That's one of the things they're saying, like, well, you got to pay $10 more a month, but it's still cheaper.
Right, which is valid, but stop with the
But don't advertise as a 4G network until that's really ready.
All right, so $200 with a contract. Yeah. What are you giving it, sir?
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, but just know this, the device itself, I feel like, is a 4 out of 5. But because of the lack of 4G coverage, and that being a major selling point of them pushing this product, I feel like we had to knock it down a little bit. If you live in one of those blue areas,
it might be a 4 out of 5.
Good for you and your 3 other people that live there, but you get a 4 out of 5 if you live in a blue area.
All right.
So there we go.
There it is, folks. That is it for today's Gadget Prom. But if you have a gadget you'd like to see us rate, email us, gadgetpron@g4tv.com. Thank you, Sir Hardwick.
Thank you very much. Good to be back.
Hey, and speaking of being back, let's go to little Miss Blackberry.
Hey. What's up? Oh, yeah, still ahead. There's more attack. Can I finish my text now?
Coming up tomorrow on an all-new AOTS, Sarah Underwood heads to the Oklahoma gun show to blowtorch a boat and kill a car with bullets. Then we've got an Android-powered e-reader on Gadgetpron. It's got Wi-Fi access to over 1 million books, web browsing, and you can play music on it. But is it an affordable alternative to the iPad? And on a new edition of DV Tuesday, Chris Gore rocks out with the Runaways, blows stuff up with the Losers, and weighs in on Kevin Smith's latest Cop Out. See it tomorrow. Even as the government seeks to transfer space exploration to the private industry, astronomers are still working hard to explore the stars in search of life, the universe, and everything. First off, we've got the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. Having just finished the first year of its mission to map the moon, the LRO has already digitally captured more information than any other lunar mission, including those guys who took one small step for man. In this image, the orbiter has captured the first detailed view of the dark side of the moon, and sadly, no, there wasn't an awesome laser show. As scientists study the thousands of craters and meteors littered across the surface, they're discovering the remains of what hit the moon and the Earth over 3.8 billion years ago. Experts from the Carnegie Institution believe these ancient potholes contain traces of the elements that were essential to the creation of life. With luck, they hope to recreate a record of what spawned life on Earth. But even as scientists look for those origins in our backyard, astronomers are looking for signs beyond our solar borders. Recently, researchers from the University of Montreal confirmed the first image of a planet outside of our system, an alien world that is 8 times the size of Jupiter. While finding ET on this giant is unlikely, astrobiologists have predicted that the first inhabited planet will be found orbiting a red dwarf within 100 light-years of Earth. These mini-stars are dimmer than most, so worlds within their systems will be much easier to spot. The planet will orbit the habitable zone, where liquid water remains in a stable state. As the idea of finding life continues to evolve, so do theories about the rest of the universe. Earlier this month, NASA and the European Southern Observatory discovered a miniature black hole spewing a giant stream of energy, which is superheating the surrounding interstellar gas to form a space bubble over 1,000 light-years. Typically, the only energy released from black holes is X-ray radiation, and never of this size or from a hole this small. This discovery will help scientists understand the similarities between supermassive black holes found at the center of the galaxies and their micro-siblings. So there it is, the latest on black holes, the moon, and alien worlds. Every day we take one small step closer to solving the mysteries of galactic life, but we're still working on that giant leap.
So let's play a game.
Oh, Mall Madness?
Yeah, the game is I give you the URL, and then you go there.
Oh. Okay, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Let's play.
The first URL is g4tv.com/fempire.
Okay, yeah, actually, you're going to want to check it out. Assuming you like old-time sexy dancing and, oh, I don't know, looking at boobs jiggle underneath a stormtrooper helmet.
Okay. Yeah. It's a mashup of space opera and your base desires. Those are your base desires. Check it out before Emperor Lucas finds out.
Hey, thanks to Joshua Topolsky and Christopher